Hi, and welcome to One Man Show channel. This time the video which I made is a bit longer. For me at least it's 12 minutes, but it's about like a dividing wall in my van, so stick around. I sold my previous van in 2010, and since then the dividing wall has been waiting to be installed. Let me introduce my thoughts behind the design. There's a metal frame inside the wall, which is made with 25 times 15mm square tube, and on both sides there's a 15mm birch plywood. The inside is insulated. I want to be able to take it away easily if necessary, so it stands on a threaded rod. I have made a metal angle iron to the floor, and by twisting the rod, the wall rises. On top of the frame there are 4 holes that accept 4 bolts coming from the ceiling. You'll see me make them soon. The airflow is maintained by 4 holes that are covered with a grill from a transit case. In the previous version, the window was reflecting the scenery, especially at night, so I tried to avoid that by placing the window in an angle. That helped quite a bit. Additionally, I have inserted speakers with wiring inside the wall, and as quick release they are connected with the standard RCA. The hatch lids can be locked to the floor, and they are wide enough to accommodate a full sheet of plywood, for example. I want to overlay the surface with fabric, so next time preparing the wall. So here I connect the sheets together with screws and countersink them. Then I need to detach the connection strip of audio. After sanding the surface, a careful vacuuming is needed in order to let the glue stick better. I'm using an old carpet from a trade show stand. That wasn't the best idea, as it wasn't very flexible. I'm sure you'll get better results with a proper fabric made for upholstery. The glue is normal floor glue from a hardware store. I have traced the area for the glue with a marker. After applying, it needs to settle about 15 minutes, and after that, the pieces can be attached. The carpet took quite much of the glue. I don't want it on the plexiglass, which is already installed. So let me make a point here that I'm not an expert in upholstery. Some professionals are probably smiling at my work, but this is a job for a work van, not a show car. The inner corner was difficult for me, but those parts can be fixed afterwards with a small patch. Outer corner makes more sense to me. Just add glue and shoot it with a staple gun. And then the same process all around. My van has side door at both sides, and there's a perfect place for wall attachment at the center of the ceiling. I'm using 4 extension nuts for guides, as they are easily available. When detaching the lining, I recommend doing it in warm temperatures. The plastic studs can break very easily when working outside in the winter. Next, the ceiling guides. My plan is to weld a sort of a handle to the bolt. I'm using a small iron bar into which I will insert the threaded piece.
When cutting it into length, I should be able to insert it in between the ceiling and support. You'll see in a minute. The other side of the wall was easier to do. I didn't need any corners to be shaped. Only some of the patches took a while. The corners for the whole of the window were found with a spike. The diagonal shape for the fabric was nicked from the sides and then cut with a ruler. Again, glue and then some clamping. The air holes get their grills on both sides. Speaker wires are connected with a soldering iron. Fabricating the hatch lids is an easy process. The rear hatch lid has to be done with a piano hinge on the left side. Otherwise, a tool rack in the van is restricting it to open. You'll see soon. Okay, another year passed and finally I can start assembling it. The bolts to the ceiling are a bit bigger than the standard holes. I had to drill them bigger, but very carefully. So here's the thing I call bolt handle in action. In the end I can just leave it there. The wall is pretty heavy, but that makes it very sturdy also. I need to adjust the angle iron a bit, as in my previous van the floor was made out of plywood. Another hole in the angle iron makes it work. From this angle you can see the tool rack I've also designed. As you can see, the front part of the side panel doesn't touch the floor. This feature enables the full sheet acceptance. With a 17mm wrench, I can now lift the wall in its place. It takes a while, but I very seldom take this out. Under both hatch lids, there are U-shaped iron connected with a square tube inside of it. This makes the hatch lid to become a chair, a table, or a temporary shelf. Here you see the rear hatch lid avoiding contact with the tool rack. So, here's the final product. For me, the smaller opening of the side doors is not a problem. My filming equipment can fit into both sides, and it's more important to have a smaller section to cool down in the summer or warm up faster in the winter. I don't like the factory wall because it limits the seat adjustment. This wall is better for noise reduction, it separates possible dirty or wet objects from cockpit, and to me, this is versatile with a temporary shelf and smaller section for temperature control. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts how to improve this further, or if you don't agree with some of the things on it. I hope this inspired you. Thanks for watching.